starting. I better shut up.
Hey.
877-247-1581, 877-247-1581. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Hello. Foster.
There is everybody. Okay.
I was wondering where we were at.
Technology is messing with us this morning. Good. Good morning, Alissa.
Good morning.
All right. So, guys, welcome to the Jobfather, Jobseeker Network Radio. I'm Foster Williams. I have been a recruiter for a long time. You guys call me the Jobfather, and that's cool with me. And we've got Dana Gingerich down there.
Hey, hi, everybody.
It would not be the Jobfather without Dana. You guys will understand when we get through. It would not be the Jobfather without Dana Gingerich.
It's a team effort.
It's a team. That's right.
I'm honored to be here, a part of the Jobfather.
So, guys, we are here. The intent of this radio show is to let you job seekers know good things that you can know in your job search. So today, Victor Miller is going to be joining us. He'll be a little bit later joining us, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes or so. So we've got a little bit of time. And let's see who's with us this morning. Before we start every show, we start off with a prayer. So I better move to Dana for that. If Dana, if you would bring us in prayer, that would be an absolutely wonderful thing.
Sure, I can do our prayer and our sponsorship announcement. Sounds good. Let's bow our heads, everybody. Father God, we just thank you for this privilege and blessing to be here to help other people and to share wisdom, knowledge, tips, treasures, and tricks, and in the talent acquisition space. We thank you for our guests today, Lord God, and we just thank you for all that you do for us every day. We ask for a safe weekend. Please lead, guide, and direct us. In your name we pray, Jesus. Amen. And
Amen.
yeah, everybody, just so you know, we are brought to you by Joco Community Radio. And Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas. And it's live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. You can listen or watch by simply just going to tuneinjoco.com. Now, to choose where and how, just go to your app store and you can download the app for free, Android or iOS. This episode is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, who the Jobfather knows personally. Yeah. She's amazing. You can reach her at 844-TEX-HAIL or 839-4245. Back to you, Foster.
Ooh, back to me. Let's see what I'm going to say. All right. You guys know, good morning, Martin Lindenberg. Dr. Hollis is with us again, Dana. We love to have Dr. Hollis. We got to have Dr. Hollis on the show. We've talked about that a little bit. And our
Yes.
hype lady, Mez. So let me tell you guys what a hype lady is. If any of you guys have someone that supports your organization, supports you, that is what we call a hype person in media. So I'm going to give you guys a wild. Everybody's not gonna link in with this one, but I'm gonna give you a wild explanation of an example. That's the word I'm looking for. An example of a hype person. So you guys remember the rap group Public Enemy? Well, Flavor Flav was their hype man. So crazy as that is, that's how that crazy as that is, that's how that got started. But at any rate, it's a good terminology to use for that function. Okay, so guys, let me go through a few things that Dana and I like to go through with you guys before we get started on the show, and that is who's hiring. You guys say that this Jobfather show is here to help us get a job. Well, Foster, who's hiring? Well, I want to tell you guys to Google a company. It's called Saddle Creek Logistics. Let me say that again. Saddle Creek Logistics. They are looking for two managers, actually, is what they're looking for. They are looking for a distribution manager, and they're also looking for what do they call that? My mind is going off the rails this morning. Distribution center manager and a logistics manager. You know what? Foster's crazy, y'all.
That's greatness.
Saddle Creek Logistics and check out their website. Yes, there is a distribution manager they need to hire. And I can't think of, all of a sudden, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of. I may be showing my age. I don't know. I'm getting closer to being 50 years old. Oh, never mind. So anyway, guys, Saddle Creek Logistics is hiring. Also, you guys might want to connect with a guy named Art Thompson. He is with Coast Jobs. Coast Jobs is a third-party company. Actually, I used to work with Art, and I know that Art sets up really, really wonderful relationships with his companies. And he has a need of a controller, guys. It's good if you've been in a manufacturing company before. If you've been in manufacturing, he is needing a controller. So you guys connect with Art Thompson at Coast Jobs. Now the Art is short for Arturo, and he might show up on LinkedIn as Arturo. I don't think he does, but I thought I'd throw that out there for you guys. Art Thompson at Coast Jobs. So, and then when you connect with him, he'll be glad to tell you all about it. Okay. All right. Let's see. What other opportunities do we have? Dana, you got anything going on?
I do. Yes. So our Galderma, I work for Galderma, a company that is a pharmaceutical company in the dermatology space. And we hire a lot of employees here in the Fort Worth area. So if you go to our website, you can see we have different positions available in the finance area, in marketing, in sales. We have some medical affairs. And I'm trying to remember, we have a new one that has come in for quality assurance. So if anything in those areas would be of interest, and you, especially on the quality assurance side, have any background with biotech or pharma, the positions here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And then you can also go to a company called CarisLifeSciences.com. They're hiring in their billing area, and probably numerous other areas that will impact the Dallas offices. So definitely take a look at Galderma.com and Caris with a C, LifeSciences.com.
Absolutely. You know, you just reminded me of McKesson as well. For some reason, I guess about 2 weeks ago, McKesson all of a sudden started hiring a whole lot of people, especially if you guys, they have a number of, if you're in HR, they have a number of different HR opportunities. And go to McKesson.com and check out their website, check out their careers page on their website. We have a wonderful connection over there. And Mr. Paul, hey, Paul. And you know what? With McKesson's one of my clients. If you guys see something interesting at McKesson, contact me. Of course, you want to link in with me if we're not already linked in, because I know we've got people all over the country that are listening to this show right now, because we are streaming radio. So you folks that are driving around in your cars up in Idaho and Seattle and some of those areas that I hear people chiming in from after the show, sometimes they'll say, Foster, we heard your show today. And if you guys,
Jobfather!
and I really appreciate you guys linking in with me, because that is what my calling is from God to do, is to help job seekers. I have been a recruiter for more years than I want to tell you. It's been quite a few now. And I have gleaned a lot of inside information on how this thing works. And that's why Dana and I are here. God's got a calling on Dana's life as well. And I saw that years ago. And I said, okay, I want to get to know this Dana, and I want to be friends with Dana. If she'll have my friend, she'll be my friend. I'll have Dana. Shoot, yeah. And Dana and I have been friends forever. We're wonderful friends. I think I tell Dana everything, so Dana better not tell all my stuff.
Blackmail. I've got blackmail. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. So, guys, you know what?
I'm just kidding.
Check out McKesson. Check out McKesson.com and see what's going on. And you know what? One thing that we do, Dana and I do, we have a big network, mainly because of this show. We have a big network, and we, a lot of these companies that we mentioned, we have, I'm getting close, Dana. You know what I'm going to say. Relationships. Guys, the number one thing that you're going to do in your job search is develop relationships. And God allows for those kind of doors to open, and we can meet and make some of the best friends during the time that we're without work. It's an opportunity to get out, meet people, and develop those relationships. Well, Paul and I over at McKesson have done that very thing. And since I am a recruiter, if you guys see anything interesting at McKesson, especially if you're in that HR category with all those HR jobs, I think they have about 10, maybe even 12 different HR opportunities. You know, McKesson's a big old company. And believe it or not, the majority of those positions are right here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We are right here in Dallas-Fort Worth based, but we are a national ministry that helps job seekers all over the planet. So go to McKesson.com. And if you see something, contact me. Link in with me, contact me. Probably the majority of the people that are listening to us right now are linked in with Dana and I, and that's the reason why. Because then we can talk about the position, and we can go to Paul and say, hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, Paul's probably listening. And Paul, I'm not going to say anything stupid. I've already done that. That part of the show's already over. So anyway, guys, we love having you. Check out McKesson.com. We are, what else can we share while we're waiting on Victor Miller? Dana, what do you think?
Well, I would say this, something that I've been noticing with the market is it's still a candidate market. So something to keep in mind is, first of all, to stay very close to LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile. Make sure your profile is up to date and it aligns with your resume. We're seeing, I mean, LinkedIn is probably the number one resource for where jobs are found. I can tell you personally, my last 3 or 4 positions were as a result, 3 positions, I think, were as a result of LinkedIn. So with that being said, it's still a candidate market, which means there are more jobs than qualified candidates. Now, that can vary from industry to industry, but it really is important to network and to keep your LinkedIn profile. It's like your online resume, reference center, networking tool up to date so people can find you. Then it is great to go directly to company websites and apply, and then email the recruiter or hiring leader for that job. Send a quick email that you're interested, you applied, attach your resume, and you would love to set up a time to connect. That's a great little shortcut. Don't just wait after you apply. You can always go to LinkedIn and look to see who the recruiters are at that company. And worst case scenario, message them through LinkedIn if you can't directly through the website. But I know when I worked for Karis, we would put a lot of our job postings at the very bottom, who to reach out to with interest. Or you can call the company and ask for the name of the recruiter and the email address to send them an email, because recruiters want you to apply. They want to get your resumes. That's a good thing. So I encourage you to think about those extra little things that you could do to support you in your job search. And of course, please link in with the Joco Community Network Radio, link in with Foster, link in with me. And if Foster and I can make any introductions for you, definitely let us know. All I ask on my end is to please be patient, because I am not in my, now that I'm in a leadership role, I still get into LinkedIn, but not as often as I used to. But definitely will check, definitely will help you. Just keep that in mind with all of us, because we do want to be supportive. A lot of companies are hiring in the pharma space, and I've noticed too that it seems like anything in software seems to be really big right now as well. Those organizations seem to be exploding, and they seem to be doing a lot of hiring. So those are some little things that I would say, I would encourage, and I would give tips on.
That's awesome. You know, I want to take a little bit of time. Victor is with us, guys. We're working on the technology behind. There he might be chiming in with us, but we'll get his picture on pretty soon. We're working on technology to get him in with us. So, guys, one thing that I have observed in the job seeker network, in the job market altogether, guys, is that when we send in our resumes, we tend to be sending in the same resume for all different kind of jobs. And when we do that, we're thinking that recruiters like Dana and I are going to understand by looking at your resume that you have experience in the areas that we are looking for you to have experience in. That is not so. Guys, I want to pause when I say that is not so.
Very true.
We have to craft our resumes. And you know what? Whatever that job description is focusing on, that is the company paying. That's where they are. That's what they're looking for. So we need to bring up our experience in those areas and make it plain to those guys. And you know what? It makes it easier for us recruiters. But, you know, I'm going to tell you something else about us recruiters. It doesn't matter whether we're third-party recruiters. It doesn't matter whether we work at a company. We are the middle men. We are the middle ladies in Dana's case. And we are given, we sit with the hiring manager and we find out what it is he's looking for, what he wants to hire. And Dana and I, because we have been doing it for so long now, we know that we need to talk about the tangibles and the intangibles. And so what we do is find out, okay, Mr. Hiring Manager, you got a job you're trying to hire for. What do you want to hire? What do you want to hire? I can bring you what you're looking for technologically or you know, the technical parts of the job that you have on the job posting, but what kind of person are you looking to hire? And so Dana and I get that information. We interview you guys as we find you, and we put together, hey, this is a person, Mr. Hiring Manager. I'm going to say, Dana, I'm going to use you as a hiring manager. I'll say, I found Alissa on LinkedIn, or I might have met her at a Jobseeker network or whatever. And I talked to Alissa about that job. And I determined that, wow, Alissa sounds like she has a great number of things that my hiring manager is looking for. So at that point, I'm going to contact Dana, who is my hiring manager, and say, Dana, I met Alissa. Here's a resume. And these are the things that I want you to know about Alissa. And I really think you ought to have a talk with Alissa.
Yeah.
And that's how it works for us recruiters, guys. We're middle. Sometimes we get beat up on, and we are middle men, middle ladies. You guys have to give us the information that we need that's going to point the fact out that you are a fit for that job. And here's the proof of that, guys, a lot of times.
It's a really good point, Foster. Really good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Joel Fry's with us. Yay. I always get
What
excited.
up, Joel? Joel's awesome. Oh, hey, Foster.
Joel, yeah.
Someone had a question. It was, where'd it go? Martin, I think. Yeah. He asked if any of the Galderma jobs are remote or mostly remote. I will say, unless it is a field-based role like sales or medical science liaison, something like that, what we're doing at Galderma is what we call a hybrid work schedule. It is flexible.
Oh, yeah.
You would work with your hiring leader to identify 2 to 3 days a week, and you maybe just 2, and work on that schedule. If it is 100% on site, which typically most of them are hybrid, it'll say that, it should say that in the job description, but the majority of positions are hybrid, where there's a flexible work schedule, and you can determine, which 2 days or whatnot you come in, or how you handle the schedule each week with your leader. We also offer summer hours, which means you can fit in for 4 days a week with a couple extra hours and be done by noon on Fridays.
Joelle made a good point. And guys, Joelle is a hiring manager herself. Joelle was on the show, about 2-3 months ago. Joelle was on the show, and Joelle made a good point. She says, we have to tailor our resume to the right job. Make sure our experiences addresses that. Don't cast too wide of a net. Guys, we have to be, there is so much technology involved in me and Dana's job right now, Joelle's job as a hiring manager. We need to focus in on those things that make us a good fit for the job, our experiences. Now, we're going to be talking to Alissa a little bit later on the show, probably in about 5 minutes or so. We're going to be talking to Alissa about, hey, Alissa has been a school teacher, and we know that teachers make wonderful, in corporate America, teachers make wonderful, wonderful training and development people. A lot of them go into HR because there are a number of factors in that job as a teacher that are done. And then, maybe for the kids, if you are in elementary or secondary, then a lot of that transfers to adults when you come into corporate America. Alissa, we have an HR focus group that meets every first and third Wednesdays. Very, very well-known group, very popular group. And in that group, of course, you've been there, but in that group, we have made a lot of those transitions in that group into areas in corporate America. There are a number of corporations. You corporations, y'all hear me out there? Teachers are awesome to hire for specific things. You guys know your environments out there, but I want you to think today. We're going to be talking to Alissa in about 5 minutes. I want you to think about how and why some of those people, Victor Miller just said, I love to hire them for my company. Absolutely. There's a number of different places inside of corporations that we can build relationships, hire teachers, because they have experience in a number of human factors, is what I like to call.
Yeah, yeah.
Victor, we're still working on trying to get you in with us. If it does not work,
can you hear me?
Hey, Victor!
Can you hear me?
Are you there? Is he there?
I'm here. I've been here for a while, but there's no camera. I don't know why the camera's not working. You don't even see my ugly mug anyway, do you?
Well, guys, we've got Victor. We don't have his picture. He's a dashing, a handsome young man.
He can only say that because I have a face for radio. So
I've been friends with Victor for even longer than even Dana. And guys, Victor is the recruitment manager for a company called Optimize. And you know what, Victor, I'm going to shut up and real quick before we go to the next segment of the show. Tell us real quick about where you work and what's going on.
I've been with Optimize. It used to be called PMA, Performance Matter Associate. We just revamped and did some new things with the company this year, Optavise. And I'm the national recruiting manager for Optavise, and it used to be 10 of us, and now there's only 5. And we just hit world record numbers in our recruiting for the first and second quarter already. We beat, which was 2017 numbers way back when, with less people and doing it more efficiently. And we don't have to have people in our office doing this. And we've just been doing a wonderful thing. Now, Optavise, we've been around, we are the sales and marketing side of Washington National. Washington National is an insurance company that's been around since 1911. And we specialize in supplemental insurance for companies. We usually get the state. So like in Dallas, we have the state of Texas. We can do all their employees. Dallas Unified School District, Dallas City Hall. We have Kroger, Firestone, some of the other companies as well here. And we can go in and do the supplemental insurance for those individuals that work for those different companies. And when I say supplemental insurance, I'm looking at more like we have a cancer policy, a heart and stroke, accident, injury, intensive care, critical illness, life, and some hospital indemnities. Now, the cool thing is everything that we sell, no matter what it is, the life insurance is really important because everybody says, oh, I have life insurance in my job. Well, if you retire, quit, or get fired, many jobs don't let you take that with you. So anything that we sell, including our life insurance, you can take that with you. And they're portable, so they can take it with you. I know in some states, like in Los Angeles, school teachers get to take all their benefits with them, including their life insurance. So they had a great union. They're able to do that kind of stuff. So, but most states don't have that. And these are wonderful things. Right now, we're hitting a lot of the restaurant owners, the mom and pop shops, because a lot of their staff have not come back to work since COVID. And what we're doing is, since they're not they're running on a skeleton staff, people working 5-6 days a week, open and close, or we're wearing their staff out, they can offer these benefits to their staff instead of paying them 25-35 cents an hour more than what they're making, or $1 more than the person down the way. They can offer these benefits, and it costs the owner of the restaurant $0. It's all employee volunteer, but they're so inexpensive that they can afford it. So is that my exit music coming on?
Yeah, I hear the music. Victor, sorry for the technical difficulties, but I'm going to reschedule with you. We will go to commercial, and we'll be back with Alissa Schutz.
Good deal. Hey, you take care, buddy. Talk to you soon. We need to do lunch real quick.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logo designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion, or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com, or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design, and we'd be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give him a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson, Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry out, and all your catering needs.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Okay, we are back. I love that commercial, Dana. That floor store commercial. It says, "We got you covered." I love that.
And Taco Joe. Did you
And
catch
Taco
that?
Joe at Taco Joe Wednesday. He's awesome. I want to ask everyone that's listening. You folks that are driving around in your cars, please don't do this right now. Wait till you get home. But go on LinkedIn, guys. Go to pull up Joco's JOCO Community Radio, and follow us. Follow our page on LinkedIn. It will help us do a great number of things in the future. So once again, JOCO Community Radio on our LinkedIn page. Go to LinkedIn and pull up Joco Community Radio and follow us. We are blessed today. We have Alissa Schutz. Is it Schutz or Schutz? How do you pronounce that, your last name, Alissa?
She shoots a basket.
Shoots like a basket. Shoots basket. I love it. Because I know a lot of people have pronounced it Schultz, right? They try to give you an L.
Yep. No L there.
I do that. I saw that. I'm glad that my mom was an English teacher and she taught me about reading, and I was hooked on phonics and still back in my day. We were hooked on phonics.
I remember that.
you remember that, Dana? Oh yeah. Guys, what I love about meeting Alissa, and you're gonna feel it in her personality, but Alissa has been a teacher for a long time. She was actually in Tennessee at one time before getting to Texas. And there are a number of applications of the skill sets that teachers bring. You just heard Victor agree with me. Dana agreed with me, as long as that head's going up and down, if it goes from side to side, which should happen a lot of times. Foster, shut up.
No.
But there's so many applications that teachers bring to corporate America and our corporate structure. And
Right.
So I wanted to bring Alissa on today so she could tell us a little bit about Alissa. Tell us some of the things that interest you in your job search going forward, Alissa, and tell us how you found out about the network.
Well, I found out about the network by several people who had recommended it, and I heard it and I wrote it down, and I finally got it on my calendar. I was so excited. I live around the corner from where it takes place, and it was an amazing place to be learning. Mez was presenting there, and as did several others, and I've got some great connections from there and a lot of encouragement for doing that. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, absolutely. Alyssa's talking about Frisco Connect, guys. And Alissa, you live in Frisco or Plano?
I live in Frisco. I lived in Plano for a while, and now I'm in Frisco.
In another show, I'll tell you guys all about the makeup of the network and how it looks and where things are. We're all over the country. But right down the street from where Alissa lives is our Frisco Connect group at Stonebriar Community Church, and that's where I met Alissa. So, Alissa, tell us a little bit about what you think. What are some of your interests in your career? What would you like to get into as you're transitioning out of education?
Well, in education and now going forward still, I have somewhat of a servant's heart. I enjoy helping people. And I look at HR as a great way to do that. Even I've been discovering so many different areas of administrative assistance where that's another way of serving. Teachers have a lot of experience with communication, problem solving, working with human beings in the midst of stress. And so that is a skill that is applicable in so many areas of the corporate world. I joke because part of the reason I needed to switch is that the little emotions in the classroom. I taught first grade and third grade, fourth grade for years in Tennessee. And the little emotions in the classroom are just so terribly intense all day long. And I have a little emotional one at home that I get to give that to before and after work. So I knew I needed more of myself. And yet I joke because, you know what, grown-ups are just grown-up little people, and we all still have big emotions. And so I've got a lot of skills to work with a variety of people, the easy ones and the difficult ones. A lot of experience with project management, because all day long and all year it's timelines and creating and that sort of thing. I have experience teaching, of course, students, but then I enjoyed teaching the teachers in Tennessee. And so I could also see myself going into training, any kind of corporate training. Right. I admit I have a bit of an imposter syndrome because I don't really think I need to be training, biologists or whatever, because that's a bit of a stretch. So finding the right place, I know I'm able to do the teaching, but I'm also great at the learning part. Teachers have so many different applications and procedures thrown at them that they just have to figure out on their own. And so the learning new things is fun and easy for me. So,
Dana, have you ever had any experience? Have you ever hired a teacher into a position?
It's hard to. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have. I just can't.
You and I've been. Oh my God, we've hired so many people.
But the thing with the great thing with teachers is that they bring such a wealth of knowledge on how to handle people, how to explain and align different concepts, and I just feel that could be such a valuable asset to so many roles in corporate America.
It has been. There are two experiences in the last 2 years of teachers that came to our HR group, Dana, and you've spoken there a number of times. And one is quite well versed in training and development right now. You put her in a training role. It was a smaller company that didn't have a trainer, but realized, hey, we got to have somebody come here and show these people what we do. And she has been in that role. And believe it or not, we had a lady out of a teacher that ended up in IT. Foster, what are you talking about?
That's so cool.
Well, guys, you know what? Because when we get out and meet people, we develop, say it, Dana.
Relationships.
That's right. See, I didn't have to say it. And this lady, Lori, had an awesome interest. She played around with computers and she just had an interest with computers. Well, guess what? She met somebody that worked for a company that needed a person to come in and do some of what we call tech support, Dana,
Yeah, like IT support.
Yeah, IT support and help desk and all that stuff. And she was an awesome person at that. So she set up that particular function for that company as they grew. And now she trains other people. There's that training again, Alissa. She trains other people in this company to do that kind of thing. It was the neatest thing in the world, because it was not what any of us was thinking about. But God opens doors for us to go in places because he built us to do a certain thing. And it's pretty cool when we get to see him put us in places that we say, okay, this is God. God built me for this, so I'm going to be here. And it turns out to be wonderful if we are obedient and continue to be obedient to where God puts us. So yes, and I know that I've been a recruiter probably 3 times the amount of years of a lot of recruiters out there, but it's wonderful because I have these stories that go along with that. My mother was a teacher. My mother taught school for 40 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
She taught at Baylor University, and she taught in a number of 5th grade was the last 12 years of her career was in 5th grade there in McGregor High School. McGregor, Texas, go Bulldogs. I'm a bulldog. I never said that. I never told you that, did I? Listen, but
No, you
small town, but I love me some McGregor. So my mom taught her last 12 years in 5th grade in McGregor. And a lot of you guys that are listening to me right now, remember my mom was your teacher. She probably had to put back when they put that paddle on your backside, the Board of Education applied to the seat of knowledge kind of thing.
I wouldn't know about that on either end.
So, and so I am very, very pro teacher. Guess what? My mom met my dad, and right before World War II, believe it or not, he went to World War II, and my mom prayed him out, and he came back unscathed. And she said, okay, you're back from the war. It's been great. You've had about a year of rest after the war. Now it's time for you to go to college and make something. And make something yourself and be a contributor to this family. And this was long before I came along, right? And so she paid for him to go to college and be a teacher. So I was 2 teachers, 2 educators, and my family. And it's kind of funny that I've gone through my life doing the things that I do. And now on this side of it, I am kind of an educator of the job market. So
yes, so true.
I just kind of threw that out there. I never told Alissa all that. When I first met Alissa, she started talking about what she's doing. I'm like, woo, I got to introduce Alissa and Dana, number one. But I've got to get Alissa on the show if she does that kind of thing. And here she is. Wonderful. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're absolutely wonderful.
So I don't normally do this kind of thing, but I just have to tell you, I got off the phone with you and I was telling my 19-year-old daughter, I said, do I have a magnetic personality? And leave it to the teenager. She says, yes, repulsive. That's a part of magnets too. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Alissa, when they're 19, they're real smart. That's awesome. And as we're talking about that, guys, we do not hire people we do not like. We want to hire people that have energy and have that very thing that Alyssa's talking about right now. That's what we want on our teams in corporate America. I can say now, every job that I've had, probably the last 2 or 3, my more lofty titles that I've had, I didn't think I was a fit for those jobs, but they love my personality and they love my approach to things. And they saw something that they needed in the company because they knew the company a lot better than I did because I never worked there before they hired me. But they decided that I was the one they wanted to hire, and it absolutely worked out. Absolutely wonderful. As I'm talking about Corn Ferry, I'm talking about Verizon, and I'm talking about the semiconductor industry. I worked for ST Microelectronics as well. And you guys I want to thank you. You guys had the insight to hire me. And Dana's the same way. Dana is a ball of energy. And that is one of the number one things that has helped Dana elevate her career, even though that was God elevating her career. We all know that. But I just love me some Dana. And so, Alissa, we're glad to have you here. That's going to be one thing that in your interviews with people that's going to come out, and it is going to be an attractor.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, what type of positions are you wanting to focus on to position a lot of these valuable skills you have, from your background in teaching?
I am open to the position that I may not even know is out there, but right now I feel most of them focused toward administrative type things. And it's probably because it feels easier for me to sell that. I don't want to sell an imposter of, I can do all these lofty things. I can learn many, many things, but I know I'm already excellent at the administrative assistant type of thing, the coordinator type thing, project management. All of those things, but I anticipate getting into areas that I can't even imagine and learning more and growing into.
And sometimes moving into a company in one of those roles, you start to learn the organization, you start to meet a lot of the hiring leaders, and you can kind of target the direction you want to go, and you have a chance to get in there, prove yourself, and show how amazing you are, any company would be blessed to have you for sure. So I think that's a wonderful strategy. You have such a unique and gifted background, and I think being able to apply that, you would be able to truly benefit so many different organizations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mez asked a good question. Mez, we are working on that. We are actually, Tiffany is working on an ability for folks to call in and ask questions. Mez asked, can I call in and ask questions to Alissa? So right now, today, we don't have that technology set up right now, but we will in the future. But you know what? I suggest, Mez, that you connect with Alissa. Her last name is Schutz. There's no L. She's not a Schultz. She's a Schutz.
Yes.
Like you shoot the basketball, right? Is that the way you say
That's
it?
correct. Spelled differently.
Okay.
But I'm already connected with Foster and Mez on LinkedIn, so that'll make me a little easier to find.
Oh, are you connected with Meg Rose?
Yes. I think so.
I'd say Meg Rose.
Yes. Yeah. Just yesterday.
Dr. Priscilla asks, she says, I'd like to hear Alissa expound on a project management comparison skill set transferable into HR. Because in most of our jobs, you could call us project managers. My God, we got a certain thing that we're trying to accomplish with a group of people, and we move them in that direction. And so that is a good question, Dr. Hollis. Dr. Hollis is a psychological, a industrial corporate psychology expert. She is so smart. We're going to have her on the show in the next coming weeks.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah. She is tremendous. So again, the question is a comparison skill set that you have that's transferable into HR.
Okay, and she said specifically with project management. Well, I'll take an aim at this. I feel like on our daily, we are constantly meeting with our teams and planning. We have an end in sight of where our kids need to be, and we need to do all the planning and prepping and gathering of materials to get there. So that's like the regular thing. But also in the past, I have planned field trips out of the city with extra buses. So just extended field trip planning that required even applying for grants to get funding to help the free and reduced kids go because the system couldn't pay for it all. Project management, even putting on the whole grade level play. I did not do it by myself, but a team of us worked together to put on the most amazing fourth grade Grand Ole Opry. But we are constantly planning with end deadlines in mind and needing to overcome obstacles. So that's what I think of with project management.
That's very good. Because you have components. We have a project management focus group. It's run by Alvin Donahue, put together years ago. Me being a recruiter, I felt as though we got to get everybody that does something similar to each other into the same network. Because if you're a project manager and you're talking to folks in HR, they were like, "What? What's that? Oh, I'm not familiar with it." Right. And so we have IT, we have HR, of course. We have HR because I am the creator, founder of the HR group, and Dana drops by and speaks with us from time to time. Dana's got a job, you guys, so she has to balance a lot of things. And you know what? What else we have? We have Senior Executive Alliance. We call it SEA, Senior Executive Alliance. So if you are a COO, if you're a CFO, if you're a CEO, if you're a VP of a department of something like that, maybe even some companies, even directors. I was a director, but my company had 250,000 people worldwide that worked for it. So a directorship was a big deal at that company. And so that would be the group for you guys. We have a healthcare organization. Is run by a wonderful, wonderful lady named Judy Wardle, and her sidekick, my brother, Jules Reichabush. And we meet second and fourth Thursdays at 11 o'clock. And then every Friday, we decide there's a contingent of us that like to get together and press the flash and hug the babies and shake hands and all that stuff. So we get together on Fridays. After I finish this show, I will be going to Colleyville, up to Central Market, right on 26. You guys should join us if you're interested in healthcare. Maybe you come out of healthcare, maybe your background's in healthcare and you're in job transition. You probably want to come up there and meet with us. We meet at 1 o'clock every Friday in Colleyville, guys, on Highway 26 and Glade Road, I believe, is the crossroad. It is Market Street. They've got an upstairs. You guys are probably familiar with Market Street grocery store. That's where we are in Colleyville on 26 and Glade. Okay, I'm running my mouth. So I want to hear more from Melissa. And because it's guys, it's Alissa. It's not Melissa. It's Alissa with an A-L-L, right?
No, Alissa.
L-I.
It is different.
Alissa, tell us how we contact you. Of course, on LinkedIn, of course. But what would you share your email address with us?
Absolutely. It starts with my last name. It is SCHUTZALI@gmail.com.
Awesome.
One more time.
All right. SCHUTZALI@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Alissa is in job search, guys, and we got to know how to contact her. You companies,
Yes.
yeah, you guys got to know how to go find her, and that's how you do it. And that wonderful smile that she's got right there that you're looking at right now is on LinkedIn. You can go to LinkedIn and you can find her there as well.
Absolutely.
Now, well, let's dig a little bit more into this. I like the fact that Alissa had no knowledge of a network like ours being out there. She talked to some friends. She found out that, hey, we think you ought to be a part of something. And Alissa has been in this network a total of 1 week. Have we even completed the first week yet, Alissa?
No, it's been 3 days.
See?
Wow, that's amazing.
Wednesday.
I love it. This is why I love networking. We get out and what really, you guys know me. So what really happens is the things that God gave us, the gifts that God gives us, other people that know God will recognize those things and the doors will just open. And there are a number of things that if Alissa allows me to going forward, me and Dana would love to introduce you to people, suggest other opportunities, other groups and things for you to be a part of. We won't overwhelm you because job search can be a lot more daunting than having a job. We don't want to work you to death because you got children you got to take care of. But that is why this show is here. And that's why Dana and I do what we do.
Thank you. I was going to say that you're right that it can be daunting, but I like that if I just focus on building the relationships and not necessarily always having that end game of the job in mind, just I enjoy people. So that's fun. I noticed Mez was asking about the email. I'm going to say it again. It's my last name, SCHUTZALI, then SCHUTZALI@gmail.com. I was just seeing it because Mez was kindly trying to put it in the chat and help.
Yeah. Mez is the most connected person. She has a internal spirit to help, kind of like we do. But being our hype person, she knows this network really, really well. And when we first met, Mez is a biochemical engineer. It's too funny. That's the last thing you would think when she walks in the room. And Mez and I both are nerds, and we got along immediately. And Mez was for, I think, 10 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mez. I think she spent 10 years in oil and gas. You say, okay, a biochemical engineer. Well, there are a lot of applications for a biochemical engineer in oil and gas with all of the substrates and solutions and all the stuff they have to deal with. But Maz is absolutely a wonderful person for for everybody in job search to connect with, because she'll understand what direction you're trying to go, and she'll do the same thing that Dana and I do. Dana and I love what we do, but we're not the only person. We're not the only people that do that. One of my jobs is to introduce you guys to people like Dana and I across the country. We got a number of people right now listening to us in North Carolina. We got a number of people listening. I know you Atlanta folks are there. You guys are always there. Hey, Nina. And so, there are wonderful people that get the spirit of the network and what it's all about. This radio show is something that has been blessed to Dana and I to be able to spread it out more and help more people on a wide basis. We are streaming radio. So if we stream, I'm sure that Tiffany, who is the organizer, creator, everything, she streams to other radio stations that stream as well. So you know what? There is no telling how many people is listening to us right now. We like to have fun. We are real. We're not rehearsed at all here. I love that. So Foster can mess up and forget things and all this, and then you guys will just kind of forgive me for that and keep moving forward.
Of course.
So guys, again, we've got Alissa Schutz, Schutz. She has been a long-time educator of, if I remember correctly, secondary and elementary have been her areas that God has put her in for the majority of her career. You companies, make sure that you consider her personality and consider her background and think about how she can fit in some of your opportunities. Contact Alissa. We have mentioned her a number of times. I hear the music. So it's time for the show to be over. But you guys contact Alissa and talk about opportunities. Talk about your company. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you, Alissa.
I appreciate it.
Tiffany. We'll see you guys next week. Same bat time.
Hey,
Same bat
travelers,
channel.
do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online.